한 중국의 공산당 간부, 영국의 한 방송에 초청되어서 사회자와 중국에 대한 토론을 벌입니다. 중국의 독재는 없고 민주주의가 발전한 나라라고 주장하는데요.
You're a master of straw man. That's not what I said. I said Rishi Sunak was called a pint-sized loser. Would you call Xi Jinping a pint-sized loser?
Many. Each country has different sensitivities. In UK,
so you're admitting you can't criticize the Chinese government?
No. You can criticize the government if you are positive in your attitude.
You can criticize the government if you're positive?
Yes.
Is that the new philosophy?
No, if you can come up with your...
You've got to come up with nice insults?
No.
What then?
Constructive advice.
Constructive advice?
For example,
I'm loving this.
Dealing with the aging population, what should be the government do? What should this governor should do?
But you can't say the president's lied. He's a liar.
No, he will be dealt with very swiftly in China. You cannot say that.
That is the most honest thing you've said tonight. Yes. He's the most powerful leader of China since Mao. He's abolished presidential term limits. He's now in his third 5-year term as president. So is he now president for life, a true dictator?
For the record, Xi Jinping will never be president for life. There will be a time limit when it will be. Secondly, there is no dictator in China. Why? Because dictatorship simply doesn't work. Democracy means modernization. And how can you explain profound transformation of China over the past 45 years in China if you have dictatorship or authoritarian rule?
경제가 발전해서 민주주의라고 하는데 민주주의에 대한 정의를 모르는 것 같죠?
Everyone knows Xi Jinping has centralized power, consolidated power, got rid of term limits. You say there's a way to get rid of him, but there isn't actually a legal way to get rid of him. He's in power for life and he likes being a dictator.
Allow me to remind you, the Communist Party of China, which is the ruling party of China, has a membership of up to 100 million people.
Yeah.
It's well structured. Every province.
There's no division or debate within the Chinese Communist Party.
Listen to me. No single person in China can dictate to a population of 1.4 billion people.
Okay. Do you know the tally of last year's presidential vote in favor of Xi Jinping by the National People's Congress, part of that structure you just advertised to us? What was the vote? Can you tell our audience here?
I think it's up to about 100%. That doesn't...
2,952 to 0.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Could you not find a few people just to make it look a little even? One or two?
Mehdi, it's
Five?
not surprising. It's not surprising.
One person out of 3,000 couldn't say, Xi Jinping, not my guy.
He does command huge respect among the Chinese people.
How many names were on the ballot paper when they went to choose the president? Can you tell our audience?
I think there is only one candidate.
Yeah, there were no other names. That's a real secure leader. You get to vote, but only for me, and none of you can actually vote against me.
Mehdi,
So you prefer a dictatorship?
No, we prefer a system that works for the benefit of the Chinese people.
I've not said a word about what works or not. You got great economic growth.
Look at the
but you're a dictatorship.
There is no dictatorship, Mehdi.
투표용지에 한 사람만 있는데 저게 민주주의라고 주장합니다. 시진핑 정부에 반대하는 사람들이 사라지는 점에 대해서 질문을 던지는데요.
Let me give you an example. Former Foreign Minister Qin Gang was removed from his post and has not been seen in public since June 2023. A few months later, China's Defense Minister, General Li Shangfu, disappeared from public view for months, has now been expelled from the party, accused of corruption.
This means China is really merciless in dealing with corruption of all kinds. Listen, corruption is rampant in China.
How do we know they're corrupt? They just disappeared. Where's the trial? We don't even know where he is.
Mehdi, those things you don't know doesn't mean doesn't happen.
Where is the trial for this man you're just accusing of corruption?
Qin Gang was my good friend for more than 20 years.
Where is he then?
He is involved in corruption.
Where is he?
And he is dealt with very swiftly.
Where is he, Victor? Where is the former foreign minister of China who disappeared? And by the way, he wasn't accused of corruption. The spokesman came out and said he has health reasons. Then corruption came later, by the way. Where did he go?
He may be ill. You never know.
I mean, he's probably ill after he's been in a Chinese prison.
He may be ill now.
Yeah,
you never know.
Exactly. Where is he?
He's somewhere in China. You will never see him. He is among the 1.4 billion people.
And no, it's not just him. There's many other people who have disappeared. The previous defense minister disappeared. The Ministry of Industry and Technology disappeared. The former Interpol president disappeared. In China, you just disappear if they don't like you. That's the rule of law in China.
I'm so happy they disappear, because if they keep doing their job, they will bring greater disaster.
Victor, be careful what you wish for, because everyone's watching this show, and if you get something wrong tonight, maybe you disappear.
If I disappear, I hope you will bail me out.
본인도 잘못될까봐 무섭기는 한 모양이고요. 이어서 청중의 질문을 받습니다.
I would like to ask you a question on Tibet. I was born in Tibet before the Chinese invasion of Tibet. Unfortunately, 1.2 million Tibetans have died since, and we have been made refugees. After 74 years of Chinese rule, it's still under lockdown. No journalists, no individual tourists, even Tibetans are not allowed to see their families. What is China afraid of to keep Tibet in such a tight control?
Sir, ever since the Yuan dynasty, if not even earlier, Tibet has been part of China. Tibet being part of China doesn't depend on whether you like it or not. It's a megatrend of our time.
A megatrend.
And you need to accept that before you will feel free to go back to China,
So you
to
don't-
visit Tibet.
You sound like you're threatening the man.
No, I'm not.
He's from that place.
You live in peace in Britain, that's good.
But he's a refugee.
But if you want to go back to Tibet, acknowledge Tibet is part of China, period.
And what if he doesn't? He can't go back to his home.
You cannot go back. China's security rests on the principle that there is only one China. And Taiwan is part of China, Tibet is part of China, and Xinjiang is part of China, period.
And even if the people there don't want to be part of it, you don't give a damn.
The majority of the people live happily as
How do we-
Chinese. Possibly
I
also
can go to
Taiwan.
Tibet, but the guy who's from there can't go there. You sound ludicrous when you say this stuff, I'm sorry to say. Let us go back to the audience. Gentleman at the back, and then this gentleman here.
이번에는 신장 지역 난민이 질문을 던지는데요.
Uyghur Autonomous Region since 2017 when Chinese government started detaining Uyghurs into their high-tech surveillance concentration camps. What's the Chinese government trying to hide from us?
I'm always very happy to see wherever I go a Uyghur person, because I do consider the Uyghurs as my brothers and sisters. On one condition, though, Uyghurs need to acknowledge that Xinjiang is part of China. That's a big precondition. If you do not accept
So hold
that
on,
precondition,
hold on.
you are not my brother or sister.
Hold on, so that's fine. You don't have to be brothers and sisters, but can he not talk to his family?
It depends on where your family is. There are indeed Uyghur separatists who want to promote separatism. Call your friends to stick to the one China
He
policy.
just wants to talk on the phone to a family member.
years old. 7 years I didn't speak to my mother. I want to speak to my mother.
Support one China policy, support
Victor.
Xinjiang being part of China.
Do you have no heart to see this man who can't speak to his 82-year-old mother?
I
Is she a
wish
separatist?
Then, on one condition, in China, zero tolerance of any separatist
An
movement.
82-year-old woman is
Anyone.
a threat to China. What does that say about China?
I hope she's not a separatist, but if she's a separatist, she will be dealt with by law. Period.
지금 계속 같은 말만 반복하고 있죠. 고구마 100개 먹은 듯한 답답함을 보여줬고요. 진짜 모르는 건지 죽을까봐 모른 척 하는 건지 민주주의에 대한 소중함을 다시 한번 상기시키는 토론이었고요. 다음에 더 재밌는 내용으로 돌아오겠습니다. 시청 감사합니다.
There is no dictatorship, Mehdi.
How many names were on the ballot paper when they went to choose the president? Can you tell our audience?
I think there is only one candidate.
There were no other names. That's a real secure leader.
It's a megatrend of our time.
A mega trend.
And you need to accept that before you will feel free to go back to China.